Hi, I'm Nikki Abdinor and I'm a clinical psychologist and speaker based in Cape Town, South Africa. This video is for all the psychologists and therapists out there who are adjusting to working online during COVID-19. Now, I know it can be really daunting. Psychologists, we are not known for our technology skills. So, I wanted to share three basic tips that have really helped adjust my practice to being online during lockdown. So, first of all, is regarding technology. It's obviously really important that you've got a strong Wi Fi connection and that you have access to a computer for video calling. I use the Zoom platform, and the reason that I use it is I find it's very user friendly and I can enable security features like a password and a waiting room. In that way, I send a unique Zoom code to my client before the appointment. They have to fill in a password to be accepted into the Zoom meeting. And then there's also a waiting room. So when I join the session, I need to admit each person into the meeting. So in that way, only the patient and myself are in that meeting. And I must say, it has worked quite well. There have been a couple of people that have been really scared about working online. I won't be afraid to say I was also scared at first. But what I've found is that once people really have their first online session, that they realize, yes, it's very different. We all have to acknowledge that one-on-one in person is always the best way. There's absolutely no way to beat that. But when it comes down to our own safety and security and really wanting to continue the therapeutic process and give enough support during such a difficult time, online can work. I've even had feedback from some people that say they'd prefer to work online and they don't have to sit in traffic to get to appointments. So make sure that your technology is up to date. And what I do within my family is I boot everybody off the Wi Fi when I have an appointment. I'm telling them this is for psychological reasons. I'm encouraging them to have digital detoxes. But I do find when a lot of people on Wi Fi at the same time, even though I'm lucky enough to have fiber, it can be delayed or buffer the video. So, warn your family that they need to have a break and be a little bit mindful and maybe do some exercise or bake some banana bread. So, my second point for you is to think about the setting that you're in. I think when it first came to lockdown, I kind of thought it was so temporary that I didn't really take my setting that seriously. And it was only on a call with a friend, and she saw the bed in the background, and she said to me, like, this is not a way to work online. And I totally agreed with her. At that stage, I thought, well, this is just going to be so temporary, but actually, it's not. So, what I've done is I've moved a whole setting within my private space. I do need to do sessions from my bedroom. I know Freud would have had a field day with that. But the reality is, this is the most private space that I have. So, I've moved a desk and made sure that my background is very professional. And I must say that it's actually made me feel more professional. When I sit at this desk, I really feel like I am at work. And that, I think, is an important thing to have when you are working online. We mustn't also forget about encouraging our patients to think about their own settings. So it is important, obviously, first and foremost, that they have a lot of privacy. So I've even had some clients sit in their car during a session because they know that that's the best way to get privacy. Obviously, we are all at home with family or loved ones, and maybe some of those loved ones are the center of attention of our therapy sessions. So we always have to be careful that we have the privacy and also that patients take it seriously to think, well, what is a comfortable space where I feel like this is still a therapeutic session? So make sure you're sitting comfortably. I would recommend no lying on the bed. Then that doesn't kind of give a sense of a therapeutic space. But also just to think about, have you got good lighting? Are you comfortable? Have you told other people not to interrupt you? I have had a session last week where a husband blurted something out from the next room to add to our sessions. So, that was a little bit awkward. But also, these are times of corona where we have absolutely no control and we're learning day by day. That comes to my third point is authenticity. It is so important to recognize that all of us are in kind of a shared trauma. It's the first time for me as a therapist to recognize that I know exactly what my patients are scared of, because I'm also scared of the same things too. I think we're living in a world where there's so much uncertainty. We're all quite stressed and anxious, and we don't know when this is going to end. And I think if we're always trying to say, oh, well, we'll do this after lockdown, we might be putting a halt on our future progress. So I know a lot of psychologists are saying to me that their clients are saying, well, I only want to see you face to face. I only want to see you back in your own office. But the reality is, we don't know exactly when that's going to be. You know, some therapists are seeing patients face to face under extreme circumstances and obviously with a lot of security protocols in place. But we have to also recognize, let's not always focus on what are we going to do after lockdown, because then I think we really run the risk of not seeing real growth, support. I mean, we need so much support right now that if we're going to put everything off until after lockdown, I think that could be a dangerous thing. So I want to all wish you well and keep safe. And I hope you enjoyed this video from my bedroom.